How do you even know about that?
I know everything, Eddie.
You do?
Everything about you.
How?
I am inside your head. You are a loser, Eddie.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and for a couple weeks now, I've been promising Yellow Flash was going to come back on the channel. We were going to talk about the latest amazing Spider-Man story arc, Last Remains from Nick Spencer. Now, there's been a couple of scheduling mishaps that happened. You know, Yellow Flash couldn't make it. I couldn't make it. But finally, we are here together, and we are going to talk about this. Yellow Flash, welcome back to the channel. Thank you.
Good to be here. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty all right. It's a late night, but that's kind of when I do all my recording. Glad you could make some time. People thought I was lying. I was like, I'm telling you, I know the guy. Things just happen. So I know you are a big comic book reader. You've been a little bit down. You've been very selective, but I messaged you 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was like, man, you need to be reading Last Remains. I know you're a Spider-Man fan, and you finally caught up to it.
Yeah, I still get it. I was like, there's that stereotype of comic book readers where they just get Amazing Spider-Man and they don't even read it.
It stacks up.
Yeah, I was kind of that same way because this story, Nick Spencer's run has been so odd because he dragged out Kindred. So
introduced him in issue number 1, and we didn't get a real introduction until issue like 50.
So it's been what, 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was about to give up on this book, which is hard to do because I've always picked up Amazing Spider-Man, and I'm glad I stuck it out. This has been really good after 10 years of Dan Slott. Like, this is
a long road.
Yeah, this is some of the best I've read since the JMS stuff, which is funny because this references that quite a bit.
Yeah, so it's been an interesting ride for Nick Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man. I had low expectations. Obviously, he's coming off of a Secret Empire, Hydra Cap, and all that noise. And there's been some really good, strong stories in here, but it's felt like every time Amazing Spider-Man gets a little momentum, an event drops, he has to stop whatever he's doing, tie into War of the Realms, Absolute Carnage, whatever the big event is, and then it starts up again. And you're like, oh, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man. I forgot about that one. But thankfully, they had those big milestones come up. I believe it was issue 49, which was Spider-Man 850, which was the Return of Green Goblin, which was kind of like the culmination of the Sin Eater story. And really, when we transitioned over into Sin Eater, that was also the last issue of Ryan Otley, I believe. And now it's Patrick Gleason, Mark Bagley on the art. It's been terrific. And we're finally into Kindred. What did you think about the big reveal of Kindred? It is Harry Osborn. I think there was a lot of rumor and speculation, rumor and innuendo that it was actually going to be Gwen Stacy, perhaps her dad, but it ended up being Harry Osborn.
Yep, it was a strange reveal. Well, I guess it's kind of expected somewhat, but because Harry's been running around for the past couple of years, right?
Yeah, he's alive. He's got Normie Osborn, and he's a successful businessman.
So while the hints were there, it's like, well, that can't be him because Harry's alive. But I'm wondering, so do you think that maybe that was him? Or because they haven't straight up said there's 2 Harry Osborns, have they?
This is the Harry Osborn before One More Day that was already dead.
Yeah, but
that knows there's a fake Harry Osborn that's out there pretending to be him.
Who is that fake Harry Osborn then?
It's whatever man Mephisto conjured up when he did the deal with, well, it's debatable. Did he do a deal with Peter Parker? Did he do a deal with Mary Jane?
That's true. Yeah. Well, remember she whispers into his ear in One More Day, and I don't think they ever revealed what she said. Remember, he's like, "Oh, I like that."
Yeah, so I guess it's debatable, but the deal that was made for One More Day to happen to bring back Aunt May also brought back Harry Osborn, brought back Peter Parker's identity being secret, and I believe this is the demon Harry Osborn that was in hell, realizing there's this fake Harry Osborn that was conjured up by that deal, and these are the consequences. Everything has consequences. I think that's the main theme of this story. At least that's the way I'm kind of taken out of it.
No, yeah, you're right. Everything has consequences. He's trying to show that to him in the arc, but it's been really dark and
very dark.
and really good. This is one of the first times I've like really anticipated a new book where I'm really excited to find out what happens. It's been a long time since I've had that from a Spider-Man comic.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And, I did a video. Well, I reviewed one of the issues. And I was like, is this too dark? Is this off-brand for Spider-Man?
Yeah, I watched that video.
And, I got a lot of passionate replies. People was like, yeah, this is too much. Or some people like, oh, no, that's completely on brand. Sometimes Spider-Man goes really dark. He obviously made a deal with the devil. But, obviously we've seen Spider-Man get his neck snapped to save his friends by Kindred. We've seen him be resurrected by Kindred only to be murdered with a rock. To be murdered and brought back and murdered again, and he's basically being tortured over and over. That's some really dark stuff.
There's been a lot of dark moments in Spider-Man. I think Craven's Last Hunt, that was really dark. That was
Absolutely.
really dark.
One of the most memorable images ever is him crawling out of that.
Yeah.
grave.
I'd say that this has definitely been pretty brutal, but there's been some moments in the history of the book where they've gotten dark. I can't think of anything in the past couple of years that have been as dark as this. Mm-hmm. But I think
what do you think? Is it too dark for you? We're adults now. I know you're enjoying. I'm assuming that you think it's just right.
I think it's the long build up has really kind of made that really pay off, in my opinion.
So it's been an earned moment. Yeah.
Are they going to keep going with this? I guess. I mean, I don't think they're going to wrap this up because there's only one more. There's the LR, and then there's the final issue of Last Remains. I don't think this is going to wrap up here. I mean, how do you wrap all this up in one issue?
Well, you don't, because I do the solicitations videos, and out in February, Marvel is still referencing Last Remains in the solicitations. This is the fallout of Last Remains. Now, the big thing that I'm taking away from it, I think most people are, is consequences. It's Kindred showing Peter's there's consequences for making a deal with the devil. There's consequences for people, you having relationships with people, they always get hurt. It's kind of putting all the blame on Peter. But one of the big purposes that I'm kind of seeing, I hope you're seeing the same thing and I'm not crazy, is Nick Spencer undoing One More Day?
There seems to be hints of that, and I'm really curious if they will. There's no way they'll get married again. But I think what's going to happen is their memories will be restored. That's my guess of what's going to happen, because it seems like it is what you're saying, that this is for sure the Harry pre One More Day. And it would seem like he's going to have to restore Peter's memories so that he can remember everything. And because he doesn't understand why Harry's dead, right? Because this Peter he never saw the Green Goblin die. He doesn't know his aunt's supposed to be dead. Yeah, so he's going to have to restore those memories, and I think the memories are going to get restored, but they're not going to get back. They'll still probably be in a relationship or maybe break up, but I think all of their memories are going to get restored.
So if he undoes One More Day, do you think that means that Aunt May is going to be dead again? Peter Parker's identity be revealed again?
No, they won't go. They won't pull that back out because that was kind of a mess. I think they're just going to restore their memories. Maybe they might kill Aunt May, but it would seem they would have to do a big event because they're going to want to make money off of that.
Oh yeah,
kill her for the third time.
Him holding her, and it's my fault kind of thing.
Yeah, this would be no. She didn't technically die in One More Day, but she was almost dead. So this would be like the third arc of Aunt May dying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It feels like this is what the purpose of the story really ultimately is, to address One More Day and the issues that have come out of it. I really do hope they do something with it. Really, Peter and MJ should be married, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah,
I'd like them to be married, but I don't feel like they're gonna. As long as Quesadilla is there, they're not gonna.
I don't think it's gonna be there very much longer, to be completely honest.
I hope so.
We haven't seen the trickle down effect get down to Marvel Comics as far as all these layoffs and firings that are happening. From Disney. It's hit ESPN. It's hit a lot of movie houses. Obviously, it's hit the Disney theme parks big time, and eventually it'll get down to Marvel Comics. But I don't think they already had to give up his big executive position and get downgraded to, I think he's a VP now, right?
Yeah, old Quesadilla Casada. He just sits in an office now. I don't know because he lost a lot of his power when they merged the companies back together. So,
And then he lost a lot more power when Kevin Feige became the chief creative officer over everything.
Yeah.
It was like, what the hell is he even here for? Is he just here to, go to events and sign comic books?
Yeah, so we'll see. All the rumors or all the stuff that's always come out, so that he was always against it, and what was it? He was going through a divorce, and that's why he wanted them split up or whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy how one man can wield that much influence. Obviously, they have addressed it in the past, but there were a few other things. Like there was one issue where basically Mark Bagley was recreating the art, from an old Amazing Spider-Man. Did you have any issues with that? It's not exactly what they did in X-Men, where they were basically using the exact same art and just changing the words. Did you like that, where he was kind of recognizing I've been here before?
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Dream?
I love Bagley on Spider-Man, so I've really been enjoying him being back on the book.
Yeah,
He's a long-time veteran Spidey artist anyway, so it's good. It's always good to have him on stuff. He was how long has it been since he's been consistent on Spider? He was on Venom for a long time, if you remember that, which I always thought was cool.
And then he did that Spider-Man story with Chip Zdarsky last year. That was
he
really
did
good.
do that. That's right. That was a great book.
Yeah, it was. That was really enjoyable. And then he just finished up a Venom story arc, Venom Island, before he came back over to Spider-Man.
Oh, I read that. That was good. I like the Venom stuff.
Yeah, the Venom stuff's pretty good. But yeah, I'm liking the art. I'm glad Patrick Gleason's come over. That was a big get from DC Comics. Although I thought he was going to be doing more issues. It feels like he's only done a few by now.
Yeah.
But so I know you're actually reading the LR issues, right?
Yeah,
I haven't really read those.
I've thumbed through them a little bit. They're nowhere near as good as the main. You don't even need to read them, and to be honest, because it's just all those spider characters with Doctor Strange, and they're trying to get to Peter to save his soul and stuff. And
so has Doctor Strange figured out that Peter stole the talisman and was using it despite him telling him not to?
Yeah, he goes to Black Cat and confronts her.
Yeah, so his little spider friends, that's the web of the spider. Order of the spider?
Order of the Spider. It's like Silk. And then I think Jessica Drew's there.
Yeah.
And Spider-Woman.
Spider-Gwen.
Miles
Morales, yeah. But they're all about to be ambushed, right? I think Sin Eater's about to send them to hell.
Sin Eater's back. I really like Sin Eater too. I didn't like him at the start, but he really grew on me. He's an interesting villain. I like that he purges all of your sins and takes your powers, and he's one of the better original, like, newer villains, I think.
Right, I gotta ask you, did you understand how, like, the relationship between Sin Eater and Kindred? Obviously, Sin Eater killed Juggernaut, he killed Green Goblin, he killed a bunch of villains. So he took their sins, and then Kindred removed them and took the powers that they had before.
Yeah, I don't know, because Juggernaut, can he take Juggernaut's powers? Because his powers come from
the Sidorak.
Yeah, so, and Juggernaut has an ongoing right now too. I haven't read that, but
it's pretty good.
Well, he lost those anyway, so maybe they went back to him. I don't know.
Yeah, so I just find it confusing because I thought once Kindred took the powers back from him and like unleashed them and turned all of the Order of the Web against Peter and started turning him evil, I thought like Sin Eater died because he didn't need him anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. That seems like
okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one confused.
Seems like a little bit of a, maybe I got to go back and read those issues then. I don't know. I skipped a lot of the original Sin Eater. I just didn't go back and read them. Like the whole Sin Eater arc. I kind of picked it up towards the end. I still have them. I just didn't read them. I think like the first issue was like, it was like reading a Bendis book. It had so much dialogue.
It's no good. I just reviewed Superman 28. It was rough.
I can't wait for Bendis to go. I might pick Superman back up.
I would highly recommend it. I'm a big Philip Kennedy Johnson fan. He's doing The Last God on DC Comics, which is a really cool fantasy comic, but he's also going to be writing Alien at Marvel, and he's obviously doing Superman action comics. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited for some good Superman. We'll see. I'm just excited for Bendis to get off that book.
Absolutely. It's 2 years too long. But, kind of getting back to Spider-Man, as you said, there's only one issue left. There's going to be some fallout and stuff. What are you expecting in the final issue of Last Remains? Do you expect a final resolution, or are you expecting for Peter to realize he made a deal with Mephisto? And,
that's what I think is going to happen. I think he's going to get some of his One More Day memories back. I think because Mary Jane walks in at the end of that issue.
Yeah, she's walking through the cemetery.
I think they're both going to come together, and he's gonna put it all back in their heads. And then the fallout from that will be them kind of reconciling what happened. And then he's obviously going to come back in a big way, I would imagine, probably as we get closer to issue 100. So I think he'll probably go back into the shadows a little, and then there'll probably be a big ultimate battle around the 100th issue, probably starting around issue 85.
Do you think Peter Parker is going to be alive when Last Remains is over?
Oh, they can't kill Peter Parker. Not again.
Kill him off a lot.
The last time they did was Superior Spider-Man. It's hard to plan that out because they would have to have him come back to life for the movie. So with I wonder what they'll do there. I don't think they'll kill him off. I do think eventually they will. It's pretty obvious that they're going to try to set Miles up as the main Spider-Man in the future.
Yeah, probably. But they're not going to kill him off here because he's been murdering and bringing him back. He wants him to live with the guilt of all the stuff that he's caused. That's why he wants him to remember.
Yeah.
Like, you remember now, right? Tell me, confess. Tell me what you did. I mean, I think Doctor Strange will obviously, like in the end, he'll play a part in him remembering, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting stuff. So I don't know if you would rate this. How long has it been since we've had a Spider-Man story this exciting, this cool?
A long time. A long time. I think the last time I was really interested in what was going to happen was Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know you're a huge fan. I thought you also liked that Red Goblin story.
I did like Red Goblin. I thought Red Goblin was fun.
It felt like a fluke, though.
Yeah, well, Dan Slott's not good with endings usually.
Yeah, felt like he nailed that one. He must have been planning that for a while.
Yeah, I think he had it planned out for a long time from what he was saying in an interview.
Mm-hmm. So are you back on Spider-Man for the long haul? Is he back? Is he going into your must-read pile for the foreseeable future?
If it stays consistent and stays consistently good like it has been, oh yeah, this has been something I've really been looking forward to reading.
So what else are you reading right now? Just before we kind of wrap this up, we've talked about Last Remains. Are there any other Marvel or DC or any books that you're just really high on right now?
Venom's still really good. I'm interested in Black. I'm hoping it's good. I didn't like Absolute Carnage that much though, so
I like the beginning of Absolute Carnage, but by the end I realized it was just a precursor to another event. I was a little butthurt.
I think that was his first big event, wasn't it? Donny Cates?
Mm-hmm. That I know of, yeah.
So we'll see if he can handle another one. Batman's still good. Power Rangers. Those are my favorite. So are you
Power Rangers or Mighty Morphin or both?
They're both. You got to read both of them. You've always had to read both if you really wanted to get the full story.
So you're expecting more crossovers and stuff there?
Well, yeah, they cross over with themselves. They're like, it used to be one was in the past and one was in the future, and now they're kind of both in the same timeline. They're two teams kind of doing this towards the same goal.
Mm-hmm. I remember Shattered Grid was what everyone was talking about.
Shattered Grid was great.
Yeah. Felt like Ryan Parrott worked to that one for a while.
I saw Kyle Higgins has some book coming out that looks kind of interesting.
I can't remember the name of it, but I talked about it on the channel. It's got like some Power Rangers vibes to it.
Yeah, it looks like a cross between like
Tron.
Kamen Rider, which is kind of like Power Rangers, and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That was what I got out of it, which I think could be interesting.
Yep, that one did look cool. I'm liking We Live. Issue 3 came out this week. That's probably the best new comic I read in 2020. Blade Runner, they just had a new series come out with that one too. So there's a lot of good indie stuff. Indie scene's way better than the big two for me right now.
Yeah, you just got to find them.
It's all diamonds in the rough. There's so much crap that you have to sift through to find it, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is there any last words that you want to say about Last Remains and Spider-Man before we kind of wrap this up?
So keep it up, Nick Spencer. So far, so good.
Absolutely, completely subverting expectations and delivering like this epic Spider-Man story that he's been building to for 2 years and actually delivering on the goods. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, he's somewhat redeemed himself for the terrible Captain America story.
Yeah, it's always nice, for somebody to kind of take a bad situation, turn it around, and show. It feels. Is he the M. Night Shyamalan of comics?
We'll see.
Yeah, the enormous fall from grace, and he kind of brought himself back up.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. I do appreciate you coming on the channel, talking about Last Remains, and we'll definitely have you back on to talk comic books.
Oh yeah, we got to talk Last Ronin when it comes out.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I think that one comes out in January.
Oh, I can't wait.
Me too, brother. All right, later.
Bye.